Hi y'all, it's Kimberly here. Hi everybody. Hi all my subscribers and all my new subscribers. Um, Today I'm gonna do a story time, and it's a story time about losing friends, about ways that I have lost friends. And I don't have a whole lot of friends right now. As I'm older, I think I have been more selective, and I think that's with anybody. I think when you're young, you get a lot of friends, and you tend to, I guess, have more activities or things that are short-lived activities or something with school or different, just a variety of things that you do. But as you're older, you kind of pick and choose a few other things that you like a lot, and you stick to that. And plus, people get married and they move away, or they get jobs or something like that, some kind of life-changing event, that kind of changes the dynamic of your friend group or whatever, and you lose friends and then you gain friends, stuff like that. But these are some of the ridiculous ways that I have lost friends. One of them was, this was a new friend, and we got along really good. We used to joke around, we had fun, and it was a guy friend, and it was through work, and we had worked together, and one day he invited me over. He told me it's his sister's birthday, I think, and his mom was going to make this big dinner and everything, and he wanted to invite me over, and I was like, oh, okay, and I went over, and I don't like coleslaw. I don't care how you make it. I don't like it. And he was like, I was putting food on my plate, and he started to put dump a big spoon of coleslaw on my plate. And I was like, no, 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 no. I covered my plate. No, 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 no. I don't like that. No, no. He's like, oh, but my mom made it. You'll love it. You'll love it. And I was like, no, no, no. I don't like coleslaw. Because I'm real picky about. I'm not too picky about my food, but I don't like people messing with my plate. You're gonna pull back a stump if you touch my plate. It's basically the way I feel about it. And he continued to try to dump it on there, and I was like, I literally had to turn my whole body around, and he was chasing me around with the spoon. I was like, no, I don't like it. And then he goes, but you need to try it. My mom made it. I already told her, I was gonna, I don't know, he wanted me to taste test it in front of his mom or something like that. I was like, why would you do that? I don't like coleslaw. I hate it. He goes, but you'll love this. My mom made it. It's so good. And I was like, no, I won't. And he kept trying to convince me. I said, why? Does it taste like chocolate cake or something? I mean, if it tastes like coleslaw, I won't like it. And he just got more and more frustrated. And I was like, all right, just to prove to you that I don't like it. And he brought his mom over. He ran over there and got her. Mom, 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 look. And it really put me on the spot. But he literally was shoving it into my mouth. And it was horrible. I hated it. It was disgusting. And I nearly threw up in my mouth. And, because when you don't like something and your stomach, you just can't make yourself eat something that you don't like, and, or trying to, you can't keep it down sometimes. It will come back up. And I was about to, I was trying my hardest to swallow it, and I barely got it down. And then he was like, see, I told you like it. I was like, I turned around, I spit it out on the ground, or whatever I could. The after part of it, whatever. And he was mortified, and I was like, And he goes, you didn't like it? And I said, no, it was absolutely horrible. It was disgusting, And I was really, I wasn't trying to be rude to her. I was mad at him for making me do that in front of her, because I knew I wouldn't be able to stomach it. And he got really, really mad and really upset. And I was like, I don't like coleslaw. He goes, but my mom makes it so good. And I was like, it doesn't matter, if it doesn't taste like something that I like chocolate cake or something that I like, it's still coleslaw. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who made it or how they make it. It's the fact that it's still the same basic generic item, And he got really mad at me, and then it was really uncomfortable for the whole rest of the dinner. And I tried to leave as early as possible. And I apologized to his mom, and I said, I just don't like coleslaw. I don't like it. And I told her, I told him, don't do this in front of your mom. Don't do this because I won't like it, And she was very understanding, very sweet, sweet lady. And the next day at work, he told everybody that I insulted his mom, that I called her coleslaw disgusting, and that I was real rude and real hateful and just an awful person, and to never invite me anywhere, and I don't appreciate anything that anybody does for me. He was just completely trashing me and everything. And so the next day I brought him a piece of chocolate cake, and I piled coleslaw on top of it, and I put it down on the table while he was eating. And I said, here, try this. My mom made it. And everybody in the break room started laughing. It was just hysterical. And he never spoke to me again. And it was all over coleslaw. And it was, or to him it was over coleslaw, but to me it was over like really not very well thought out, not very thoughtful of your friends, or not thinking about, something like that. I still think about it, and he was such a really nice guy in a way, but, that little moment there just, it ruined our friendship, and it was like a new friendship. We'd only known each other for, I think, about 2 or 3 months. And usually I'd say within 6 months to a year with a new friend, you will find there will be an incident or something will happen that will define their character towards you or show how they really feel about you. So it usually takes, a little bit of time for things like that to come out. And usually that's like a time limit test or something, that you can tell whether you really have a solid friendship or not. But that was just one little thing. And then my dogs. My dogs are, the loves of my life. And one of my friends, she wanted me to go out with her or come to her house. She was having like a bunch of friends over or something. My car was broke down at that time, and so she came and got me, and she brought me over there, and I told her my dog, at first I told her I didn't want to go because my dog was sick, and I'd taken her to the vet, and I had to give her medication. I had to watch her, and I was going to be gone at this house. It was kind of like a little dinner party thing, and it was going to be probably like 5 hours or so, quite a, the whole evening, she had it all planned. And I was worried about my dog, and I told her I really can't stay very long. I told her I wasn't going to go at all at first, and she was like, no, I'll come and get you, and don't worry, I'll take you home and all this. And it got to be about 3.5 hours, and I was like, I really need to leave. I need to check on my dog. She's got to take her medication. And it was a little bitty weenie dog, real sweet little weenie dog, and I was so worried about her, and she was kind of old, and she had I think it was like we think that she ate something, and we weren't sure if it was poisoned or something. We weren't sure, but they gave me some medication, and I had to give it to her in an increment, hours or something like that. And so she goes, okay, just a minute, and then about 30 minutes goes by, and I told her again, this is coming on probably about 4 hours. I was like, I need to go home now because I gotta check on Twinkie. And she was like, oh, all right. She got kind of flustered with me, she goes, just a minute. And she went into the kitchen or somewhere else, and I waited for like 10 or 15 minutes, and I went to go find her, and she was talking to a couple of other people in, I think, the kitchen, whatever. And I came up to her and I said, are you going to take me? Because I need to go home now. And she's like, oh, Kim, I have these people here. I have a party I'm trying to host. And just real rude, real authoritative to me, and real just like like she didn't care about, what was important to me. And she knew that my dogs were important to me. So I was like, all right, whatever. And I just walked out of the kitchen. Then I went, immediately grabbed my purse and my coat. And it was the middle of wintertime. And I lived probably, in the car, it was about a 10 or a 12-minute drive to my house from her house. And I just walked out and I just left, immediately left. And then I was walking home, and I was about halfway home. I'd been walking about 30 minutes. And she drove up next to me, and she started honking, and she goes, Kim, what are you doing? I was like, I told you I need to go home. I have an emergency. I have something important to do. And I asked you repeatedly. And she goes, well, get in the car. And so she started driving back to her house. I was like, what are you doing? I said, I need to go home to my dog, to take care of my dog. She goes, Kim, I've got people at the house. Just a minute. Let me clean up and do. I was like, no. Stop the car. And we got to like an argument, and I told her, I'm going to pull this wheel around if you don't stop the car and let me out. I put my hand on the steering wheel. I said, we're going to do a 360 in the middle of the street if you don't let me out. And she pulled over to the side, and she like threw my purse out at me, real hateful like and rude. And then she peeled off, and I had to walk all the way back home. She'd set me back a few blocks by driving, several blocks, and that was the last that I ever spoke to her. And at one point, I worked somewhere, and there was a little group of friends. I started being friends with these girls, and it was going to be this guy's birthday, and he was a black guy, and they were going to set him up with a birthday dinner. They would do this like with particular, they had this little friend group, and they would, on that person's birthday, they would set up a birthday lunch for them, and we'd all eat lunch. And it was a group of about 10 or 15 people, and it was in this big company, but it was just this main little group that would do that. It'd be part of this little friend group to do it, and they had several little groups like that in the company that people would, kind of glob together in little group cliques or groups or whatever you want to call it. This is like my first little introduction to them, and they were going to make this guy a dinner, and at first, it's hard to even say this, they're going to make me a fried chicken dinner, and at first I didn't really think too much about it. It's like, oh, okay, it's just food. And then they wanted to bring him watermelon and sweet potato pie, and I told him, I don't think y'all should do that. She goes, one of the ladies, she was the oldest one, she was like, oh, but he is black and he'll love it. And I was like, no, you can't do this. And she goes, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, just being real, generic about it, like it's just okay. And they had brought this big watermelon, and they were cutting it up in the thing, and I just told her, I want no part of this, okay? Y'all are going to get in trouble, you're going to get fired, something's going to happen, y'all are going to get in so much trouble. And I went and told a supervisor, and he came running in there and goes, what are y'all doing? No, he saw the watermelon, and he goes, and that lady was telling, just trying to explain away, like, and I wanted no part of it, and I told the lady, no, I don't want any of this, I don't want y'all, I don't want nothing to do with y'all. So that kind of set me apart, from, I just kind of stayed by myself for a long time at that job, and that was fine with me. But I was like, that was just one of the most surreal things ever. And then I had, this has happened to me probably about 7 or 8 times in my life. There was an older lady, and she kept commenting about me, and, I mean, not rude things, but, like, just making, oh, you look so cute today, and, oh, about my hair, and if I did my makeup, I didn't always do my makeup. I'm not real good at doing my makeup, but sometimes I didn't wear very much, or, on the days that I did do it, and she'd get up in my face and, like, critique it. Oh, your eyeshadow looks so good, your mascara, and oh, that color lipstick looks good on you, and stuff like that. And it got to be a little bit annoying, or she would talk about the things I would wear, because I wear mostly t-shirts and jeans, like, to my job. And one day I think I wore, like, my t-shirts were all dirty or something. I wore some sweater, just an old sweater, I thought, and she was like, "Oh, you look so beautiful," and just going on and on. "See, if you dressed up more like this, maybe you would get a guy." I was like, "Oh my God." And she had told me about her son a long time ago, and she had kind of hinted at kind of like setting me up or wanting me to meet him. But I think one day she was making tamales and she would sell them there. And a lot of people do that here in Texas. They'll bring tamales to work and they'll sell them by the dozen. That happens all the time here. And I love them. And she was selling them and I ordered some. And she told me, "Oh, I'll have yours ready at the house. I got something special I'm going to give you," or something like that. And we live kind of close by each other. And I had given her a ride home several times. And so I went to her house, and her son was there. He was all dressed up, and he had flowers, and he came up to me. I was waiting for my tamales. I just came to buy my tamales. And he came up, and he had this little speech. I can't remember really a word that he said. And he tried to hand me the flowers. He wanted to take me out that night, and she told me to wear something nice, whenever she told me to come pick up the tamales. I just blew it off. I was like, she's crazy, She's always saying crazy crap like that. And I told her, I can't, And she got really upset and really mad at me that I rejected her son, and she told everybody at work I was a lesbian. And it was hilarious. And she never spoke to me again. She was real rude to me all the time, and to the point where they kind of took her in the office, and one of my supervisors, I explained the whole thing to him, and he took her, to the side or whatever, and told her, quit doing that. You can't do that with people at work. It's none of your business who they date, or you can't get mad at them for not dating your kids, whatever, like that. So, and that, I've had that, I don't know how many times, I can't even remember. There's several stories of people trying to set me up with their brother, their cousin, or kids, or whatever. That's happened to me repeatedly. Well, when I was younger. It doesn't happen anymore. Thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Because it's always such an uncomfortable thing. Because, nobody likes for that to be sprung on them. That's just horrifying. When you realize, oh my God. Okay, well, those are my story times for today. And thank you all my new subscribers and everybody in India, the UK, Italy, the US. Oh, I'm forgetting what I forget. Italy, India, UK. Oh, I forget. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to look at them again. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.